Imagine standing in front of your family, your friends, your daughter's teachers, and suddenly, the man you've spent years with, the man you trusted, announces he's leaving you. He thought I'd collapse. He thought I'd break. But what he didn't know was that I carried a truth that would shatter his entire world. And when I spoke, he wasn't the strong one anymore. He was the broken one. The morning sun streamed through my bedroom window, and for the first time in weeks, I felt a nervous kind of excitement. Today wasn't about me. Today was about Emily, my daughter, my pride, my reason for breathing. She was graduating high school, ready to step into her future. I had ironed her white gown the night before, laying it neatly across the chair in her room. I could hear her humming behind the door, a habit she had since childhood whenever she was anxious. I smiled, remembering the first time I held her tiny hands, promising myself I'd never let her feel alone. "Mom," she called, her voice slightly trembling. "Yes, sweetheart," I replied, walking into her room. She turned, the cap slightly tilted on her head, eyes wide with nerves. "Do I look okay?" Hugged her. "Emily, you look perfect. Your father and I. We couldn't be prouder." The words felt heavy in my mouth, because while I meant every word about her, I wasn't sure about him. Mark, my husband of 15 years, had grown distant. He used to be the man who made Emily laugh with silly dances, who held my hand in crowded places, who whispered promises at night. But over the past year he had become someone else, cold, dismissive, secretive. This morning, though, he seemed unusually cheerful. He walked into Emily's room in a sharp navy suit, tie knotted with precision. "Wow," he said, clapping his hands. "My little girl is all grown up." Emily smiled, but I noticed the faint smirk tugging at his lips. Something about it unsettled me. "Let's not be late," he said, almost commanding. We drove in silence, the car filled with unspoken tension. Emily fidgeted in the back seat while Mark tapped his fingers on the steering wheel. I stared out the window, wondering why the pit in my stomach was growing larger with every passing mile. The school auditorium buzzed with energy. Families snapping pictures, students fixing caps, proud parents beaming. I clutched Emily's hand before she joined her classmates. "Go shine, my love," I whispered. As she disappeared into the crowd, I glanced at Mark. He was standing stiffly, his eyes darting around the room like he was searching for someone. My heart sank, though I didn't fully understand why. Something was coming, something big, and I wasn't ready for it. The ceremony was beautiful, students marching proudly across the stage, cheers filling the air, cameras flashing. When Emily's name was called, I clapped until my hands hurt, tears streaming down my cheeks. She walked with grace, her head high, her smile radiant. Mark clapped too, but there was a strange detachment in his eyes. He wasn't looking at Emily. He wasn't even looking at me. He was lost somewhere else, in his own twisted thoughts. After the ceremony, we moved to the school hall for the reception. Tables lined with food, glasses of sparkling cider clinking, laughter echoing. Families hugged, posed for pictures, and celebrated milestones. That's when Mark did it. Ting, ting, ting. He tapped his glass with a spoon, the clear chime silencing the entire room. Conversations faded, heads turned, and all eyes fixed on him. He stood tall, shoulders back, that smug smile plastered across his face. "I have an announcement," he began, his voice booming with pride. "Today is a day of new beginnings. Not just for Emily but for me as well. So, I want everyone here to know." He paused dramatically, savoring the moment like an actor on stage. "I'm leaving Sarah. Found someone else. And from this day forward, I'll be starting my life fresh." The room gasped in unison. My chest tightened, my ears buzzed, and my hands went cold. Emily's face crumpled, her eyes darting to me in panic. "Mom," she whispered, tears spilling instantly. My world tilted. For a split second I thought I might faint. He had chosen this day, our daughter's graduation, to publicly humiliate me, To tear apart our family in front of everyone we knew. Mark smirked, sipping his drink, scanning the shocked faces. He was enjoying this. He thought he had won. But he had no idea what was coming next. The silence that followed was suffocating. You could hear the faint buzz of the overhead lights, the clink of someone nervously setting down their glass. Eyes bored into me. Sympathy, pity, curiosity. Emily's hand gripped mine tightly. "Mom, please say something." I looked at her trembling lips, at her mascara streaking down her cheeks, and my heart hardened. This wasn't just about me anymore. This was about my daughter, her dignity, her day. Mark leaned back in his chair, crossing his arms, waiting for me to break. His arrogance filled the room, pressing down on me like a weight. My mind flashed through years of sacrifices, working late nights to pay bills when he gambled away money, nursing him through sickness when he ignored me, staying silent when he belittled me in front of friends. I had endured so much. But this was different. I felt a strange calm wash over me. The kind of calm that comes when you've already been broken once, and there's nothing left to lose. I stood. My chair scraped against the floor, echoing loudly. All eyes turned. Emily clung to my arm, whispering, "Mom, are you okay?" I placed my hand over hers. "I'm more than okay, sweetheart." Mark chuckled. Here it comes. The begging. The crying. But oh, how wrong he was. I walked to the front, my heels clicking against the polished floor. My hands shook, but my voice was steady. I picked up the microphone Mark had used. "Thank you, Mark," I began, smiling faintly. "What a bold announcement. Since you've decided to share your truth today, maybe it's time I shared mine." All eyes darted around the hall, scanning faces, whispers turning frantic. I looked directly at Jessica, my sister-in-law, Mark's brother's wife. She froze, her wine glass trembling in her hand. "Yes," I said clearly, my voice cutting like glass. "For the past year, Mark has been having an affair with Jessica, his own brother's wife." The room exploded in gasps. Someone dropped a plate. Emily's jaw fell open, horror etched on her face. Mark's brother, Daniel, stood abruptly. "What?" His voice roared through the hall. Jessica stammered. "It's not, she's lying, it's not what it looks like." But I pulled out my phone, scrolling through saved screenshots. Every message, every hotel receipt, every late-night call. I have it all. I projected a few images onto the screen behind me. Emails, texts, photos. Proof undeniable. Jessica covered her mouth, tears spilling. Daniel's face turned pale, then crimson. He lunged at Mark. "You slept with my wife." Mark stumbled back, his smugness gone, his face ashen. "Daniel, wait, I can explain." But there was no explanation that could save him. The hall erupted into chaos. Guests whispered in disgust, some glaring at Jessica, others at Mark. Emily stood taller now, anger replacing tears. She looked at her father with pure disappointment. "How could you do this to us?" she cried. Mark reached for her, but she pulled away. "No." I stood strong. Mark's carefully constructed image shattered. His brother shoved him, yelling obscenities. Jessica ran out sobbing. People whispered words like disgusting and shameful. Mark tried to speak, but every attempt was drowned by murmurs of judgment. He wasn't the powerful man anymore. He was exposed, humiliated, destroyed. I handed the mic back calmly, walking to Emily, who hugged me tightly. "Mom, you're amazing," she whispered. Mark collapsed into a chair, burying his face in his hands. His empire of lies had fallen in one night. And I didn't even need to raise my voice. That night, Emily and I drove home in silence. Once inside, I packed Mark's belongings into trash bags and left them on the porch. He never came to claim them. Emily and I sat on the couch, sharing a tub of ice cream. She leaned against me, her voice soft. "I thought today would be ruined forever. But you saved it." Tears filled my eyes, but they were tears of release. "We're stronger than he ever gave us credit for." We laughed through the pain, holding each other close. For the first time in years I felt light, free. Weeks later, the divorce was finalized. Mark lost his home, his reputation, his brother, and most of all, his daughter's respect. I went back to school, took a better job, and rebuilt my life piece by piece. Emily thrived, smiling more each day, her confidence returning. As for me, I discovered a strength I never knew I had. I closed the chapter with these words. He thought leaving me in front of everyone would break me. But the truth I shared broke him instead. And sometimes, survival isn't about holding on, it's about letting go.